Hi, happy Wednesday. Sharon here with another video. Wanted to talk about Wendy Williams today. Good morning, good morning. I was actually going to do a video last night, but I said nah. Okay, so it's being reported by media takeout and other avenues in the internet that Calvin Hunter Jr. is being evicted from his $2 million apartment. Well, okay, so if you remember last year, there were reports going around that Calvin Jr. took Wendy's American Express card before the conservatives put a freeze on her accounts and spent $100,000. Well, it just happens to be that apartment for a year, like Wendy paid for the apartment for a year, putting $100,000 down. So, and it was up in March. And now he's being evicted and also charged, they're suing him for $70,000 back rent. Oh my God, why does such a young guy, he's like 22 years old, need such an expensive place? You don't. See, I think the conservative Wells Fargo did Wendy an extreme favor. Now, I'm not saying that Wendy wasn't part of that, just telling her son, you know what, just put on the American Express. You know, she might have been part of the whole thing and said, listen, I'm going to give you one more. Who knows what went on behind scenes. But if she went into rehab, if she didn't have Wells Fargo freeze her accounts, her ex-husband and I'm not saying her son, but her ex-husband definitely would have depleted her. I think it's protecting Wendy. I really do. Of people just taking advantage of her and her money. She looks fantastic, and I'm sure her son will be fine. I wonder if he's going to go live with her or with his dad in Florida. He goes to school in Florida. And I don't know much more he has to go, but he can actually go on the campus. I'm sure that Wendy could get him in there. But, you know, her accounts are froze. So now, what does that entail? Like, is she allowed specific money? I don't know. But everything adds up. Like, it was $100,000. He's denied it. But there was $100,000 put on her American Express, and it just happens to be the amount of the rent. And Wendy paid until March. So he had a year's free rent, which was so expensive, off his mother. You know, like I said, his mother could have told him to do it. I mean, I would have done that to my son if he didn't have a place to stay, but I would have been like, yo, no, you ain't gonna get no $2 million. She was not of the right mind at the time that a year ago, Wendy was kind of a mess. And she's a mess for multiple reasons. She's a mess because she's alone. She's like, supposedly there were also reports that her son and her were having problems as well. You don't know what's going on now behind the scenes with her and her family. Like, her brother, Tommy, is going public and saying, you're abandoning our 91-year-old father. You know, but she has a lot of people taking advantage of her and what's going on in her life, including her brother. Her brother reports on her all the time and talks about her all the time and makes money off her all the time. Calvin is saying he's absolutely broke, but his wife has a business, and he's backing up. Like, he's got ego where they're asking him questions, and he's like, yeah, I'm whatever. You know, I'm okay, she's okay, but then we're broke, and we can't live with that. The petition to the court said he was broke. He's near foreclosure, can't pay his car insurance, can't pay his vehicles. I think he has pretty expensive vehicles. Sell your vehicles. I think he has, like, mint condition sports cars. A sports car. Sell it. Start selling your stuff. Courts are not going to be, you had that money. You were given alimony for a year. A lot of alimony. She has no money coming in now. You are not, since she doesn't have any money coming in, you're not entitled to any money. You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. And it actually states that. So he's kind of screwed. But he's going publicly to just make it all loud so people talk about it. He wants me to be talking about this. So I'm doing you a favor, Calvin. I think Alvin, the chipmunk. But I think, Calvin, Ugh, what a dog. And then he says, she's not my side chick. She was your side chick for 10 years. And you didn't even marry her yet. And you have a baby with her. And you had... What happened to that? Did they sell that house, the 300,000? Well, everything was split up. And they even sold their Jersey home. So he got profits from all that stuff. So because you were irresponsible with your money management and didn't prepare... I mean, the writing was on the wall with Wendy. She was the last season, she was too out of it. She's like, oh, I don't care about different hot topics and stuff. She definitely, like, the last year was completely whacked out. Definitely. I mean, she couldn't even finish her sentences. It was bad. It was really bad. She went to the best place, and she was only there 3 months, though, I believe, and I think she probably needs more. She needs intensive therapy, like a few times a week to, it's fame. This is a price of fame. Price of fame. You're not sure, is it you? Is it your money? Maybe a little bit of both. I mean, it's not that they don't love you, but, and you don't really see her with her son. You don't see her son with him. I bet now he's evicted. He either is going to go with his dad or with her. So, I mean, because let's face it, is he going to get a job? The son? I doubt it. He's going to school for what? Who knows? But yeah, we wish, Wendy the best and her family the best. I hope that ex-husband gets not 1 red cent alimony. Nope. I really do. I hope he did. But, they said that they would adjust it too. Like the agreement between them, the divorce agreement is, if she loses the income from the shows and does not gain additional income anywhere else, they have the right to terminate it or adjust it. Maybe adjust it, but it would be he's actually has to sue, I believe, the people who are handling her money, Wells Fargo. And they must have had enough. Wells Fargo was quick to make a move on that. Whoever did that, fantastic. You have saved her life. She would have nothing now. They would have blown through everything. He would have blown through everything. And he would let his son blow through everything. Leave enough for her to live, for heaven's sakes. I mean, Wendy's in a bad situation. I mean, now she's better, but, I mean, she needs a job, too. Yeah, as soon as she gets a job, though, she got to pay him. So, you wonder. Wendy said she wanted a way out of paying him, alimony. And again, I've had to pay someone. I had to pay my husband at the time was not working. He had health issues. So, and we moved here, and the work was like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours to go to work every day. But anyways, he got let go from that company because of the economy. And then I was sued. He was sued for child support, and I had to pay it. I had to pay his ex child support. So I know what it's like to feel that's and that's a big hit to your ego. And I was a fool. I should have not. When she sued us, I countered. I shouldn't. But I think that I countered. I used lawyers when I needed to, but then I used a lawyer one other time to try to get it down even more, and it didn't work. So, I mean, and the lawyers I was getting, it was like $6,000 a pop every time you get a file. So, and I mean, and if you filed one, they might give you a discount of like $5,500. But anyways, I know what it's like to have to pay a ex. So it's very difficult, very difficult. And what I did is I took my ex's child support and paid her with it. So it made me feel better that I was using his money to pay her. And I think it was for like a year and a half. And at one point it wasn't very much money, but she wasn't entitled. She wasn't. She really wasn't. They were they were like over 18, all this stuff. But anyways, that's a whole other story. But like, follow, share. Thanks again. Happy Wednesday.